Good morning. It's April 4th. It is 10 o'clock. All three county commissioners are here. I ask that we rise for a moment of silent meditation and then pledge to the flag. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Let's start with the county administrator and consents and approvals.
Morning.
Morning.
We have 17 exonerations for $5,038.45. Minutes for January 17th, 24th, 31st. Minutes for the Board of Review and Equalization for February 1st, 6th, 9th, 14th, 20th, 23rd, 28th, and also for March the 14th, 2018. Vouchers for General County, 314, 438.56, Cole Severance, 7,500, 911, 710.26, Chestnut Ridge Park, 2,320.55, Camp Muffley, 2,361.38, Mason-Dixon Park, 1,281.03, Assessor's Valuation, 3,160.19, Teen Court, 11,848.62, Purchasing Card Vouchers, General County, 19,172.08, Magistrate Court, 98.57, Chestnut Ridge Park, 1,849.77, Camp Muffley, 84.89, Mason-Dixon Park, 63.29, Assessor's Valuation, 17,878.95 for a voucher total of 382,768.14. We have position vacancies for boards and authorities: Western Board of Zoning Appeals, the Planning Commission, Cheat View PSD, and River Road PSD. Fiduciary orders for April the 4th, 2018. Statement of services for Lynn Crane for the Dana Johnson Estate, Cynthia Van Stafford, Peter Franklin White Estate, George Armistead, Mary Rebecca Summers Estate, and Nell Cordray Estate.
Do we
Move for approval.
Second.
properly moved in second? We don't need to separate any of those. Okay. It's been properly moved second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It passes. Great. Introduction of new employees, personnel changes. MJ, come on down. You want to introduce yourself and how you doing today?
I'm good. Good morning. I'm MJ Zink from Monongalia Youth Services. I'm here to introduce Ira Wow. He is not here because he is doing his fingerprints at this moment. But he worked with us before as part-time, and he's coming back as part-time. He moved to Texas, and now he's back. Just to give you a little spill of him, he is a child that grew up in the state, in the custody of the state, so he definitely can relate to the kids that we have at the center. He was abandoned by his mother, but he really has the desire to be with the kids that we have at the center, and I think it would be great to have him back on board.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think it'd be a great fit.
Thank you.
And how's the baby doing? Let me just have
grown
okay.
a bad weed.
Well, I hope she enjoyed Easter. Okay, is there anyone else we have? Seeing none, we have comments from the public. Is there anyone who would like to comment from the public? Okay, hi, come on down. If you could state your name and your address, please.
Margaret Batten, 2249. No, it's the wrong address. 1492. we moved about a year ago. 1492 Point Marion Road, Maysville, West Virginia.
Great.
Okay. You guys know, if I had known you were having meetings every week, I'd have been here before this. I thought it was the first Wednesday of every month.
Oh.
But anyway.
Well, we're glad you're back.
Did you? I haven't heard whether you got a hold of that man early. Remember, it was like you were going to do it in 2 weeks. And you said you had a meeting with him in 6, but you were going to try to get it set up to 2 weeks. And I just.
I was going to say, but
Okay, well, if you say, and then I'll have Ed respond first because he was at one of the meetings, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just wondered if you had talked to him, what they had said. What are they going to do anything about the road?
You're talking about Route 100, right? Or
Well, yeah.
the
yeah.
one, Fort Martin Road?
Fort Martin Road, yeah.
Yeah.
Go over the railroad tracks and up the hill and out that way. I don't even know where to start. I told you about the mud on the roads before. Is there any way that we can talk to these companies and tell them that, that that's their responsibility to keep that off the road?
Yeah.
Okay. We had a gentleman that came up and spoke with Barb Gresco, I think her name is, and there's stakes along the hill. And I wondered if you guys knew anything about it. They said something about putting culverts in. And I hope they're doing more than just culverts, because that's not going to help the truck traffic.
Well, you can't do anything about the truck traffic, okay? I mean,
No, the truck, I'm talking about the widening the road so that the trucks can, we have a hill slide
They
already
are.
that they had to come.
They are looking at this project.
Okay, that's what I wanted.
What I have to relate.
Yeah.
Okay?
And now the other thing is, there is so much garbage along the road. My daughter-in-law went out and picked up one day, and she said she was so afraid of the trucks coming by that because there's no room to get off the road. Is there anybody that does that?
If I can suspend the rules to respond to that, yes. What we can immediately do, the litter group just started with the weather being warmer, and I know they were over in the Saberton area. We will definitely make that recommendation for them to go out there, and also to respond that, as Don Williams and Ed said, they're also looking at trying to set up a meeting with the Lakeview, with the Longview power plant to discuss the concerns. I know he has passed, Don Williams has talked with them, and he wants us to try and sit down, and we're setting up a meeting to discuss your concerns. And it isn't just your concerns, the
Yeah,
other residents there.
the
But we will
residents
also
there.
send out the litter crew to see when they're over there and try and expedite that for you.
Appreciate it very much.
Well, appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Did you all want to speak now, or you want to wait till?
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Yeah, why don't you come up now? So
Let's
it's,
do it now.
yeah, we have the Honorable Mayor Dave Johnson and the Honorable Chief Rick Panico. Thank you.
We spoke yesterday about the upcoming debacle at the garage in Westover. But
You
it's
might want to
actually-
explain, yeah.
Yeah, the bus garage is moving from Ruby McQueen, however you say that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really the bus garage, but the terminal is going to be changed, and they're going to move it to Westover. And I wanted to make everybody aware that it's not actually in Westover. We've got a big hole in the middle of Westover that we're going to deal with here sooner than later, but we've had to respond a couple times there on a couple incidents from some people that were, one was definitely out of line, one was drunk, but the other one was just confused. They dropped him off from somewhere else, and he was going to catch a bus to Pittsburgh. But we really don't have any jurisdiction there. So I don't know what's going to happen. I talked to Mr. Bruffy yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, that was-
He's going to come to our council meeting on the 16th and explain to council, because a lot of people, several members of council had concerns about what's going to happen there. Even though it's not in Westover, when they leave there, unless they stay on that side of the road, they won't be in Westover. But for most of the time, they'll come across the road, or they'll go to McDonald's, which is in Westover. They'll go to, which that's fine. But my point is this: that if there is any type of problems there that would require police, it's not in our jurisdiction. Now, we would respond, obviously, if there's something that needed immediate attention, but it's really not, it's not something that we can respond to legally. We can't arrest anybody there. If we did respond to a situation to where somebody needed arrest, we'd have to hold them until the counties or the states would get there. So I just wanted to make everybody aware of that part, that it's not, and I don't know what's going on. He told me yesterday that I misunderstood, I guess, from what I read in the paper. I thought they were going to hold a couple public hearings on what they're going to do, and they are. He's included, coming to our council meeting is the first one he's going to, then he's going to Senior Mons and then somewhere else. But I thought it was going to be just a different type of venue for the public hearings. So I'm not sure what's going on there. And like I spoke to you yesterday, I know you guys weren't really involved in it because you thought it was in Westover, but that's what's going on with that. And we have some concerns. I mean, obviously, everybody has concerns, so. But Mr. Bruffy told me that some of the people that would need to require some attention from the police officers, he didn't feel that they would end up in Westover. Like the ones that were down here, they wouldn't have a reason to go to Westover just because the buses are over there. I think they're down there because they want to be down there. So it may not even be a major issue as far as the police are concerned, but then again, it may be. So
if I can suspend the rules, anyone want to respond before I responded? We did talk, and I want for the public record to know that I was shocked, because when we talked, I thought that was all in Westover, and we have learned that that is actually in the county. Being that really doesn't resolve, shouldn't have any matter in fact, except that now we need to be involved in it as it's county property. One of the two things I'd like to recommend, if the commissioners will allow me, I'd be more than willing to attend, to listen to that meeting on the 16th and invite everyone else, if that would be okay. And the other thing I would like to do is request a ASAP meeting with the City of Morgantown officials, Westover officials, the bus officials, and ourselves to discuss this situation. From my understanding, again, when they were moving the bus terminal, let's call it, out to Westover, there was going to be some help from the City of Morgantown, and when I mean help, financial. I think we need to now get a better picture of what is really going on, and rather than causing problems, let's try and work together to resolve the issues. And I think that's the best way I could say it. Whether you have a problem or not, there's some bigger issues that have now brought up. And I think you've exposed some things that may come, as you said, that might make some changes, and that's up to Westover. But I think the three of us need to...
There are going to be changes, so let's make it a positive change rather
Yes,
than...
let's work together before it becomes...
Rather than have to deal with
Let's be
negatives.
proactive on that, and I appreciate you bringing that to our attention. We knew it was going to happen, but I was under the assumption, too, that we would all be coming to meetings to discuss the future. So let's just expedite the process, if that's okay
I think we're going to have to, because the way he talked to me yesterday was that when I suggested he come to the meeting on the 16th, he said, well, that'll be the first public hearing we have, but he made it sound like they were going to the senior Mons and one other, I don't recall, I had it written down, I didn't bring it, but that didn't sound like the proper setting to me as far as actually sitting down. I think what he's going to do sounds to me like he's just going to come and explain. If people have questions, they can ask, but that's not going to...
What I'd like
Question and
to
answer
do,
is not going to solve anything. We need, like Red said, we need to work together on this.
and I'd
see
like to
what
do
we
it
can figure
over
out.
in Westover, and maybe do the senior center, below where we could meet and have a meeting with all of us, so therefore it isn't coming to us. We would all be going over to you all, if that's okay.
Well, we can do it in the council chambers. We have room
Okay,
for that in
okay.
there.
That would be fine. If we all, then we need to move forward. In fact, we will try, and I'll ask Renette if we can I'll work with you on expediting that
Well, you
immediately.
guys can go ahead and just sign that annexation. We'll bring that in, and we won't have to worry and go through that whole process, because it's,
That
it's
clearly,
it's a long,
you brought
drawn-out
up an issue
process
that
to
I think
annex
is now
something, So we can
going
make
to
it
be
real
public.
easy.
That was something that we were unaware of, and that's all we're allowed to say at this time.
Okay, I just have one more thing. If you can get that set up, then that'd be great. Let me know, and we can.
Okay, we will.
Facilitate it. That'll be the best way to do it. Probably right there in Westover, everybody can see it as they come up.
Exactly.
The trash issue, we deal with it on a daily basis because of the transfer station. About once a week or once every 2 weeks. Now, we have ordinances that, we have an ordinance that the vehicles have to be tarped when they come through the city of Westover. And there's no way they can actually get to that transfer station without coming into Westover.
Right.
Just not possible unless they flew in. That's the only way they could get there. I've often thought that might be something that you may want to consider making a countywide ordinance, because that's where a lot of your trash comes off. It blows off a lot of vehicles.
Right.
So something to think about. But I know that we deal with it a lot, and we clean it one day, and then the next day it's
Would
there
you be
again,
willing to
so.
send your ordinance to us just so we could?
Absolutely.
Rather than
Absolutely.
rewriting,
I thought
and
that-
then we would look
I
at
thought
it.
that was a requirement of the transfer
Yeah,
station.
we thought it was a...
Yeah, but here's the thing about the transfer station, is
Okay.
what they do and what they can't do. The way they explained it to me was, if somebody pulls in there untarped, they can't send them away.
Okay.
They have to accept them for whatever reason. I don't know why that,
Okay.
and that may have just
Well,
been one of the employees telling me
I
that.
think that would be something that we should research to see whether it's in our
we're
purvey
allowed to
to be
do
able
that.
to do so first.
Yes.
Still gonna get some.
Yeah.
And the tarp thing, a lot of times with what we're experiencing is, when you buy a trailer or you have a truck that has one of the automatic tarps on
Right.
them, that's not a secure load, because then it blows out the sides. So what we look for, what our officers look for, is that the load is covered all the way around so nothing can blow out. I mean, we've had pieces of drywall right in the parking lot in front of City Hall. I mean, it happens. And we get a lot now because of the transfer station.
Right.
But,
And they'll be coming that direction.
But I can get you a copy of that ordinance.
That would
and,
be
you
great.
can take a look at it, and it may even be tweaked even further to where it would fit
Yeah.
everything. So that would be
Again,
something.
just have to see whether or not it is within our purvey to be able to do so.
Yeah, but we'll definitely look at it.
All right, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you for
Mayor.
coming. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? Okay, seeing none, do we have any grants?
Yes, just one.
Okay,
Hey, Tom, just let me know when.
okay, thank you for coming. Yeah,
We have the contract with the Records Management and Preservation Board. The county clerk was awarded $25,000 for roller shelving, for deed of trust, and fiduciary books. So we just have that, a contract for the commission to approve.
Move for approval.
Second?
proper move and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passes, thank you. Aye. Okay, great. Proclamation presented by the Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Is there someone here?
Yes.
Okay, if you wanted to come down, does she have it?
She has.
Oh, good. Would you like to read? We would like you to read it, please.
Yes, I certainly will.
And if you could state your name and your address.
My address?
Yeah, your name and address for the
Okay.
record.
I'm Carol Sousen, and I live at 106 Fairfield Manor in
Okay.
Morgantown.
Thank you.
All right. This is the Sexual Assault Awareness Month proclamation. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month is intended to draw attention to the fact that sexual assault is widespread and has public health implications for every community member of Monongalia County. And whereas rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment impact our community as seen by statistics indicating that 1 in 5 women will have experienced sexual assault by the time they complete college. Whereas we must work together to educate our community about what can be done to prevent sexual assault and how to support survivors. And whereas staff and volunteers of the West Virginia Sexual Assault programs and other professionals have come together as the West Virginia Foundation for Rape Information Services to support each other in their work and provide the state of West Virginia and its citizens with a central source of information and sexual assault. And whereas with leadership, dedication, and encouragement, there is compelling evidence that we can be successful in reducing sexual violence in Monongalia County through prevention, education, increased awareness, and holding perpetrators who commit acts of violence responsible for their actions. And whereas the Rape and Domestic Violence Information Center strongly supports the efforts of national, state, and local partners and of every citizen to actively engage in public and private efforts, including conversations about what sexual assault is, how to prevent it, how to help survivors connect with services, and how every segment of our society can work together to better address sexual violence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Monongalia County Commission joins anti-sexual violence advocates and support service programs in the belief that all community members must be part of the solution to end sexual violence. Along with the United States government and the state of West Virginia, the Commission does hereby proclaim April 2018 Sexual Assault Awareness Month in Monongalia County and applauds the efforts of the many victim service providers, police officers, prosecutors, national and community organizations, and private sector supporters for their efforts in promoting awareness about sexual assault.
Move for approval.
Second?
Been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Anyone else? Seeing none? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And we want to thank you for what you do. As a guidance counselor for 32 years, you played an integral part with many of my students. So I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to give you information about sexual assault for your own
Sure.
awareness.
Sure, come on down.
Is that the letter you signed?
Yeah, and we'll sign the letter for you right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we now have a presentation by Jackie, is it Harriman?
I don't see her here.
She's not here. Okay, then we're not going to have a presentation. We'll have correspondence right now.
Just one. I have a thank you card from the Mon County Special Olympics that just thanks you for your support.
Well, very nice, we appreciate that. Unfinished business, I know it says we have none, but we actually just received something. You want to explain?
Last week, Chief Kisner came before you to request about 10 outdated ballistics vests that they're asking to be transferred to the Morgan County Sheriff's Department. And we had Phil our county attorney, draw up a hold harmless agreement, and he dropped that off to me yesterday. So that's ready to be signed whenever you all are ready.
And we have referred it till this week, so.
Move for approval.
Second.
Prop moving second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And it's correct that his officers are going down there, so they'll be able to take that down with them. Okay, thank you. New business, to consider approval of requisition number 3 for the Morgantown Industrial Park Phase 2 Project Fund.
Yes, sir. We have a request that's sent to me from Glenn Adrian for $86,350. Those invoices are to reimburse Thrasher Engineering and Adrian Enterprises for the Morgantown Industrial Park Phase 2 TIF project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Any discussion? Not. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do we have any other?
I have one other piece.
Okay.
Yesterday, it's funny, Courthouse Square reservations. We have several from the Main Street Morgantown for April the 21st, May the 18th, July 21st, September the 28th, and November the 24th. And then along with that, we also have a request from the West Virginia Progressives also for April the 21st. So I'm not exactly sure how to handle that. They're asking for 12 to 3, and Main Street's asking from 10 to 3. So we've got 2 requests for one day from both of those.
Could I ask if, with the permission, to put it on the work session today to discuss it, because the other point is we have a generic application. So maybe we could modify the application and in the interim get some information so we can better.
The 2 events.
Yeah,
I mean,
so we
I
can try,
don't-
and let's hold off until this afternoon so we can discuss, because I think I don't see how we can do 2 events.
Right.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay, so we put that on the work session today. Okay, thank you. I just thought of that too. Okay, reports from elected officials? None? Karen? No? Okay. Sean, report from the county commissioners?
Last week after our meeting, I had lunch with Deputy Mayor Brasitis, and I think it was a good meeting. We both enjoyed it. No, Mark and I go back a long ways, and I think it's important that we have these regular contacts where we talk about things that we can work on, and we agree that in a lot of areas we may differ, but the important thing is trying to find things that we can work together on and just keeping an open line of communication. So I really did enjoy, I meant that when I said that, I really did enjoy the lunch. Thursday I had the Board of Health meeting, and then I had a conference call in the afternoon regarding the West Ridge project, and that's when they were bringing me up to speed. They'd already met with the other 2 commissioners. This week, yesterday, we had our AJR interview, and I want to thank my two fellow commissioners. I enjoyed the process, and I think it was a good process for the citizens to kind of get a chance to talk to us if they wanted to, ask us questions, and we should do that more often. I had IT staff meeting this morning. Everything's moving along fine. Tomorrow I have a red team meeting, and I have a Mason-Dixon Historical Park meeting in the evening. And then Friday evening I have a meeting with Mayor Kowecki. Next week we have the Leadership Academy, but it's actually, and I think I have a Development Authority meeting next Thursday, but definitely not as busy as it's been the last couple of weeks. And again, I thank everybody for all the efforts in the last couple of weeks pulling the budgets together. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the radio show I thought was quite productive. I think we were able to communicate very effectively the direction that we're proceeding with Commission and with the projects. Friday, I did attend the meeting of community stakeholders representing our Commission. That was with Secretary Tom Smith, who had announced that he was coming to Morgantown. That also was very fruitful. And I did also represent Commission at the reception at Pikewood for the premiere of the Hot Rod documentary, which I did actually watch last night, and very, very well done. So I'm really happy with that. Monday is the Landmark Commission meeting, and I will be attending the Economic Summit in Harrison County on Tuesday. That's of our combined Chamber of Commerce of Marion and Preston and Harrison and, of course, Monongalia County. That's Tuesday. And lastly, I would like to direct people's attention to the State Journal this week. There's an article by Brooks McCabe on Kent Leonhardt's efforts with regards to the agriculture, agribusiness, and agritourism in our state. It is very complimentary, and I think that reflects well on what we're seeing on the state level of these individuals that are working. We did remark yesterday that there has been quite a change with the auditor, with the Secretary Smith. You know, when you see the state willing to work with you and these individuals, then it's really going to create a lot of positive things. So looking forward to agriculture in our county being extended.
Thank you. Yes, I think the meeting was very productive being on the radio, and I hope we continually do that. On this Friday, I will be representing you at the pedestrian 3-hour meeting to look over the situation. When I was away, I heard there was 2 more pedestrians that were hit by a car, and I see Al here. I sent a letter. I don't know if Perry got the letter.
We did, and we'll both do that.
Oh, great. Okay, so, and I think that'd be real important. I appreciate you showing up, because I think it's a situation that we have to deal with, and unfortunate, we've had 7 instances in the last 6 months, so something has to be done, so I appreciate that. The other thing I do want to bring up, when we were meeting last week before the budget, and I think something came out of our senior Mons meeting that I'd like to move forward on, and that was trying to maximize our funds without duplicating services. And what the discussion was, so the public needs to be aware, is that we had come across the Senior Mons, Connecting Link, Meals on Wheels, In Touch and Concern, Visiting Homemakers, and Christian Help, and all doing similar programs. And what we thought, rather than cut them, we wanted to get everyone together to see how we can, expand the program, maximize the resources. That's the best way to say it. So what I'd like to do is, with your permission, set the process going. It may be several weeks and so on, but to try and have a meeting with all the parties there to discuss for the future from July on, and maybe see what we come up with, and ask the 2 of you also to be there. So if that's okay. And that is
Proposing this for a work session?
I'd rather have a
regular
separate meeting. Well, we might have it at a work session. Depends how we can try and get everyone together.
Should be an open meeting.
Okay, yeah, it's an open meeting, so we can try at the work session. The other thing is, I did go to Philadelphia, and I know this is going to make people happy, but I thought we had holes in the roads. But it seems to be the whole East Coast right now, the potholes. They're enormous, and we're trying to address them, but It's an unfortunate situation, and I think we're going to continue to try and meet and see how we can resolve those problems. So it isn't just a Morgantown situation.
And you brought that up, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, there was another stoplight that I noticed that was out in a section of town, and I just shot Fuad a quick email,
Right.
and the next morning, they were out there at 10 o'clock, so they really are
Sure.
responsive. There's just a lot of things they're running around, it's like playing whack-a-mole, they're trying to run around and take care of things, but I really applaud the efforts that every time I address something, that they seem to really take it seriously and get somebody moving on it quickly.
And we appreciate the work, Militia, and hopefully we'll continue this as we move forward. Do I have a motion to
Move to adjourn.
Second?
properly move in second? We be adjourned.